Hi, my name is John Brakefield and I'm a lawyer in Gainesville, Georgia. On this video, I'm going to talk about implied consent. Implied consent is basically that it is implied that by having a Georgia driver's license or driving on the roads of Georgia, that you have implicitly consented to the state taking your blood, breath, or urine. It is basically a condition of you having a license or driving on the roads of Georgia that you agree to do so. Well, obviously, that wasn't necessarily 100% of our understanding when you get a license. Therefore, the officer has to remind you of that by reading you a certain card. And this card is basically, it's usually neon color, and it was created by the Georgia legislature, and it is extremely boring and it is extremely confusing. I'm going to go ahead and read that card for you to show you exactly what the officers do in the field. Hopefully I won't mess it up, but you would be surprised to know that many officers do mess it up in the field. We watch many videos and listen to many audios, and a lot of times it is not read properly. Obviously it's a minority of the time it's read improperly, but it is in fact read improperly sometimes. The officer, upon believing that the person should be arrested for DUI, will go ahead and handcuff them and say, "I need to read you something." Georgia law requires you to submit to state-administered chemical tests of your blood, breath, urine, or other bodily substances for the purpose of determining if you are under the influence of alcohol or drugs. If you refuse this testing, your Georgia's driver's license or privilege to drive on the highways of the state will be suspended for a minimum period of 1 year. Your refusal to submit to the required testing may be offered into evidence against you at trial. If you submit to testing and the results indicate an alcohol concentration of 0.08 grams or more, your Georgia driver's license or privilege to drive on the highways of this state may be suspended for a minimum period of 1 year. After first submitting to the required state test, you are entitled to additional chemical tests of your blood, breath, urine, or other bodily substances at your own expense and from a qualified personnel of your own choosing. Will you submit to the state-administered chemical tests of your, and then the officer needs to state blood, breath, or urine. Will you submit to the chemical test of your breath under the implied consent law? Generally speaking, the determination of blood, breath, and urine is based upon whether they think you're under the influence of alcohol or drugs. If they think that you're under the influence of alcohol, it is almost always going to be a breath test. If they believe that you are under some sort of drug, it'll almost always be a blood test. Urine tests are very rare. I don't know if officers just don't want to have to deal with that type of bodily fluid, but it is a very rare test, but obviously it's one that can occur. One thing that's interesting about the implied consent is that invariably after it's read, the civilian, the person being arrested, will go, "What did that mean? I'm sorry, what should I do?" And the officer goes, picks it up, reads it again, and then the officer goes, "Yes or no? I need an answer, yes or no." And many times the people are legitimately confused on what they need to do. I hope this answers some questions in regards to how confusing implied consent can be and actually what goes on at a roadside DUI stop. If you should have any questions, please feel free to call or email us at any time. Additionally, please visit our website. We have additional videos on DUI and other areas of the law. Please remember that this is for informational purposes only and is not legal advice. Thanks so much.